Up until now, we've been drawing things that exist. Lines learn discipline. Shapes learn cooperation. Light and shadow learned exactly where the sun likes to hang out. But today we ask a slightly dangerous question. What is this thing actually made of? Because a cube made of metal feels different than a cube made of wood. And wood, well, wood has opinions. So buckle up. Welcome to Lesson 9, Textures. Let's roll that intro and get our hands metaphorically dirty. Let's start where all wood begins. The tree. I'm not drawing every leaf. I'm not drawing realism. I'm drawing direction and rhythm. The trunk goes up. Branches split. Then split again, like a decision that went wrong several times. Notice the bark. It's not random lines. It's long and short strokes, broken, uneven. Some lines are darker, some lighter. Some just gave up halfway. That's texture, not detail, suggestion. If you draw every crack, it becomes noise. If you suggest a few, the brain finishes the job for you. The tree looks alive and slightly judgmental. Perfect or not, all we need is practice. Now let's calm things down. Planks. This is wood after civilization happened. Here the grain behaves, mostly straight, mostly polite. I draw long, parallel lines following the length of the plank. They curve slightly because wood used to be a tree and remembers that. Add a knot or two, not everywhere. One is enough to say, yes, this was alive once. Notice I'm not shading yet. Texture comes first, light later. Now we stack planks, a fence. Here's the trick. Don't make every plank unique. If everything is special, nothing is. I vary width, height, damage. But keep the grain language consistent. This tells the viewer, these belong together. It also tells the fence, you've seen things. Now, before you panic and think you need to draw every crack, every fiber, every traumatic life event this tree has been through, let's pause. Because even the great artists didn't do that. Here's the funny part. When you look at drawings from master artists, you'll notice something shocking. They don't draw everything. They draw just enough. Enough lines for your brain to go, oh, that's wood. Yep, bark. Probably splinters. And then your brain does the rest for free. That's not laziness. That's experience. This is not realistic drawing. This is convincing drawing. Realism tries to impress your eyes. Good drawing talks directly to your brain and says, relax, I got this. So if you're thinking, should I add more detail? The answer is usually no. Stop early. Leave room for imagination. Let the viewer work a little. Even the masters didn't overdo it. And if they didn't, you definitely don't have to. Let's start where everything still makes sense. A cube. Clean edges, clear planes. Light on one side, shadow on the other. This is the last moment of order. We shade it. Everything behaves. Nothing argues. So far, so good. Now let's look below. This little rock here, That's just a cube in disguise. Same planes, same logic, same light rules. It's pretending to be organic, but inside, it's still very geometric. We didn't invent new shading. We just broke the cube politely. Notice something important here. I'm not drawing every crack. I'm suggesting planes. Flat areas catch light. Broken planes catch shadow. That's enough. Now, let's go completely out of control. The mountains. No cube outline, no guide box, no safety net. But guess what? It's still planes. Big ones, tilted ones, stacked ones. Light hits some, others hide. Same rules, just louder shapes. This is the trick. You don't go from cube to mountain by adding detail. You go there by thinking in planes. Texture comes last. Light comes first. And geometry never really leaves. It just stops announcing itself. Now let's talk about shadows. Not the dramatic kind, the useful kind. The ones that actually make your drawings stop looking flat. We'll start with the cube, because cubes don't lie. A cube doesn't fade randomly. Each face has a job. One plane faces the light. That's the light side. One plane turns away. That's the shadow side. And one plane is just awkwardly in between. That's your value split. Light, midtone, shadow. No gradients yet. Everything is clear. Very organized. Very cube. Now watch what happens when the cube forgets its corners. We get a cylinder. Same light source, same rules. But now, the shadow can't decide where to stop. On a curved surface, light fades gradually. Bright highlight, soft midtones, then a darker band, the core shadow. Not at the edge, slightly before it. That's important. Because right after the darkest part, something strange happens. The shadow gets lighter again. That's reflected light. Light hits the ground, the environment, your hopes and dreams, and bounces back. It's weaker, it's subtle, but it saves your form from looking like a sticker. So when you shade a cylinder, think in zones. Highlight, light, midtone, core shadow, reflected light. No sharp lines, no panic blending, just controlled transitions. You're not smudging randomly. You're explaining to the viewer why the object is round. Same light, same logic. The shape changed, so the shadow had to adapt. And that's how flat shapes quietly become solid. Master the theory, and nothing feels impossible. But remember, more detail doesn't always mean better drawing. Sometimes saying less says more. Learn the rules, use only what you need, and let the viewer's imagination finish the rest. That's where good drawings live. If this helped, hit like. If it didn't, hit like anyway. It builds character. Subscribe for more drawing lessons. I'll see you in the next one.